Hello, hello. How is everybody? It's another Friday, which means it's another Friday with Dannphan. I hope you guys have been having a good week since the last stream. Welcome back. We can discuss new things today. You can also put things in live chat if you'd like me to discuss something else. Let's see. First, we gotta break the ice, right? First things first, the weather. It's very stormy outside. In fact, I think there's a hurricane out there right now. Excellent. Perfect for when you're writing like very dark and spooky type of atmosphere stories. To have like just a whistling storm outside your window. Absolutely perfect. Early Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah. Early Merry Christmas to everyone. Actually, it's a good point. I guess I won't stream next week because that's Christmas week. More clapping. Yeah, it is. It's Christmas week. Man, time flies. This whole month just went by so fast. I hate it when time goes too fast for me. I'm glad that, for once, I'm glad that I have like kind of dark lighting on the live stream because my one eye is like a little bit swollen. Luckily, it is not noticeable. I'm also glad that I have giant glasses. That hides a lot of it. But yeah. Next week we have officially reached Christmas. I hope you guys have some nice plans. As far as like watching Christmas things, the only thing that I really recently watched that was kind of Christmas themed was Sanda. The Sanda anime. Finally got around to checking out the first episode. We watched it with friends, which is probably the best way to ever watch an anime that you've never watched before. To watch it the first time with friends, so you can all comment on it in live time. That's great. It's a wonderful experience. So we watched the first episode of Sanda, and we enjoyed it overall. I'm like cautiously optimistic about it because I don't really know where the story is heading. Just the first episode alone is like super chaotic all over the place. You have no idea what's going to happen next. But, you know, that's part of the charm of it. One of my friends was describing it like if Tim Burton made an anime. Yeah, it's kind of got that vibe. If Tim Burton made an anime, it would be Sanda, for sure. But yeah, I think my main issue with it is if it tries to get serious later on. Because if it gets more serious as you're watching it, I think it'll just get worse, honestly. It's only good in the sense that it's leaning into the fact that it doesn't have to be taken very seriously. And I like the comedy aspect that goes hand in hand with the edginess. The comedy balances out the edginess, and that's what really makes it enjoyable. But when you start to like get more serious edgy, I think that the balance just would shift completely. So if somebody else has watched further ahead, if they know more about like what direction the Sanda anime is heading in, let me know. Let me know if it gets more serious or if it keeps being like this ridiculous comedy that you're not supposed to take serious at all. But yeah, we did watch the first episode and we enjoyed that. So it's a very unique style as far as anime goes. It's much more edged, you know. They're going for something a little different. Like I said, it looks like if Tim Burton made an anime. Big wide eyes and greasy-haired goth girl. Yeah, I'm sure you can paint a picture with just that. Yeah. Need to get that on video, reaction to manga. We caught a bit of a snowstorm this past Sunday, though the weather this week melted it pretty fast. Yeah, pretty much. I imagine all the extra rain will just get rid of whatever snow left over there is. Didn't people say the same thing about Soul Eater being an anime made by Tim Burton? Soul Eater is not really that edgy. Surprisingly, like it has those Halloween themes to it, but I don't really think of Soul Eater when I think of like edgy anime, I guess. Or it's not genuinely trying to be spooky, it just has a Halloween theme painted over it. But it feels very much like average shonen fun type of anime rather than trying to be edgy or shocking in any way, I guess is how I would describe it. Well, I liked Soul Eater growing up, don't get me wrong. And I think it did definitely attract the Hot Topic type of crowd. Because, I mean, it's Halloween themed. You gotta go wherever the Halloween stuff is, right? That's how you keep those vibes. Meanwhile, I'm preparing to watch a bunch of Christmas movies I haven't seen. Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, for sure. And, there's a bunch of Christmas movies I haven't seen either. There's also some that, like, I never finished because, how it is around the holidays where, like, Christmas movies will be on TV, but, like, you're over somebody else's house at a party, so you only see, like, part of it. But then you have to leave or, something happens and you step away from the TV, etc., etc. But yeah. And wish Soul Eater got the Brotherhood treatment. Yeah, Soul Eater, I don't know. Does the manga end differently? It's got to end differently, right? I think somebody told me at one point that the entire last arc of Soul Eater was just the anime making stuff up on the spot. It's similarly to what happened with Fullmetal Alchemist. The difference is mainly that I think the Fullmetal Alchemist anime writers were much better at making stuff up. They were like much better at like making stuff, essentially they're what do you call it? They're improving, yes. they're working with the story that they already have, and then they gotta improv the rest of it. And part of the reason why I think people say that both the Fullmetal Alchemist anime and Brotherhood are both pretty good is because the anime writers really weren't bad when it came to making stuff up. And that's usually not the case with a lot of anime where the writers just have to go off script and try to stitch together some story based on what has happened before. Because there's obviously a lot of examples of it going really poorly. And I don't like that business model really when you start an anime while the manga is still being written, and because you haven't gotten to that, because that part of the manga isn't written yet, you don't know what to write, and so you have to improv your way to get around it. Blue Exorcist, for example, that was a train wreck. That was a train wreck. As soon as they had to go off script from the manga, all of my interest was like lost in that anime. That was really weird. Granted, where the manga is currently, I'm also pretty disappointed with it. But it handled their previous arcs, their early arcs, it handled pretty well, especially in comparison to like where the anime drifted from the original. What a weird backstory to give Satan. Oh, I'm a white wolf, and like people don't like me because I'm a white wolf, and I'm gonna fuck this human girl. Like, okay, weird. But yeah, It happens a lot, it does. Genuinely shocked how different Brotherhood was because the twists in the 2003 anime made sense to me. They were pretty well written. I mean, they were genuinely like shocking twists and made me very interested to see like where is this crazy train gonna head. But then like all the way at the end of the anime, they tried too hard. They tried too hard to make it too much of a twist and also connect it to a movie. I didn't like the very, very end of the original Fullmetal Alchemist anime. Granted, I never saw the movie that it's connected to. Maybe I gotta watch the movie to enjoy the original anime ending more. But it was a little bit too much for me to go into the multiverse of madness at the end of Fullmetal Alchemist. That was a little, you know. As far as traveling across this thread of believability, that was a little too much. But the Zatch Bell mangaka broke his hand, for example. I wish that one got the Brotherhood treatment too. That's interesting. I've never watched Zatch Bell. I do remember commercials for it, right, on the TV, right? And I remember Adam has this really funny story about kids at his school who would like mimic things that they saw in anime because they wanted to be cool like the anime characters, right? And one of the things that they mimicked was trying to run like Zatch Bell does in the anime. And it was it's pretty goofy. Gotta say. Guys, don't just copy things that you see on TV. That will not make you cooler. Case in point, do not run like Zatch Bell. The movie makes it worse, if I recall correctly. Really? Well, I didn't see it, so I don't know. But yeah, it's also really weird because in the dub, they kind of changed it a little bit. Because I believe the anime, they get like transported to Germany, right? But in the dub, they say Britain. That's not right, huh? But then again, maybe I'm misremembering. But I think they did just change the location because they were like, oh no, we can't have people like sympathize with Germans. That would be bad. Oh, Germans aren't people, etc., etc. You know how it is with like the localization. But yeah, the Zatch Bell manga is very good. I also tried running like that as a kid. Oh man, that's very funny to imagine. Oh man, yep. How can you not be cooler if you have God and anime on your side? Ooh, good points made all around. What manga do you wish would get an anime adaptation? Interesting questions. Because like a lot of the manga that I was following has already gotten anime adaptations. There's very few that have still not gotten an anime adaptation. Because keep in mind, even canceled manga, even canceled poor sales manga are getting anime adaptations. It's like they're just giving it out to anyone who is able to get published. It is kind of surprising. If I am to do a kind of lesser known manga, let's say Hiraeth. I would like for Hiraeth to get an anime adaptation. How about that? It's indie manga, so that's probably the only reason why it has not gotten an adaptation. But like, yeah, a lot of canceled manga I've been seeing just getting an adaptation. out of nowhere. It is a little bit shocking. But this is her wraith. I've mentioned it before, that this is a thing one of my friends is publishing. It looks good. It's good manga. Go check it out. It's on Manga Plus. It has 2 chapters out, which are very long chapters, I will say. It's like starting off with its own little mini arc to introduce the 2 main characters. Those are the 2 main characters. So check it out. Yeah, check it out if you have not already. How about that? Well, thanks for the 50 code, Melted. Yay, workday over, Dannphan stream, Stranger Things next week. Can't wait. It's going to be a great Christmas week, sounds like. But, yeah. Kind of want to see... What is that? Morcielago get turned into an anime? I've never seen that word before in my life. It's interesting looking word, though. An anime that I wished would get a Brotherhood treatment was Zetman. You know, it's funny. I guess Blue Exorcist did get the Brotherhood treatment, but they didn't do it as good as Brotherhood. Because they didn't start from the beginning and then work back up again. They just, like, skip ahead and, like, just try to vaguely connect it to the first anime series. It's a really awkward transition. Because they also, like, change this one part to just insert Rin in there, even though he was not originally in that scene, and it makes the whole scene awkward because Rin needs to just, like, be present in the anime at all times because it's the first episode and it's trying to transition off of the original anime. It was really awkward. But yeah, I mean, technically, I guess Blue Exorcist kind of got the Brotherhood treatment because they started doing redoing the arcs that were completely cut out or rewritten in the first anime. But it was much more awkward than Brotherhood, I will say. Okay, I wish we got an anime of Kaiji, part 3 through 5. The animated part of part 3, and for some reason made it exclusive to Japanese pachinko machines. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's how you get people to gamble in Japan, am I right? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Tokyo Ghoul definitely needs Brotherhood treatment. Oh, did they change things in Tokyo Ghoul also? You know, I wouldn't really know. I never watched that far into Tokyo Ghoul. There's a lot of anime out there that, like, I started but never finished. I'm sure people can relate to that. Because sometimes it's just not pulling you in as much as other things that you're watching, and especially when you're watching a lot of different things at the same time. You know, you gotta juggle, you gotta pick and choose. Which ones do I focus on so that I can finish them versus which do I circle back to maybe in a couple years? And there's a couple of anime that I'm just like, yeah, I'll watch the rest of it later. Reaper Pachinko Machine win. That's it. That's how we're gonna better monetize comics. We gotta work out some pachinko machine magic with them. That's it. We figured it out. That's how you make the big bucks. Would anyone consider Ruby as anime? I mean, I've always considered it a YouTube series. But I guess some people say that it's anime. It's like the same thing when people say that Avatar The Last Airbender is anime, right? Because similar eyes. Even though, ironically, the story behind how that anime style got started was that they were inspired by Disney princesses and those eyes. And so they like took from that, but then just extended it into a different direction. I guess they exaggerated it more, exaggerated the eyes more, while as a lot of American comic book artists would go the opposite direction, was just to make it a little more realistic and, you know, either realistic or extra cartoony, and then there was no in between. And I think that's part of the reason why anime and manga tends to speak to a lot of people, is because it's this kind of nice in between area of realistic and cartoony. But that's just a theory. Anime-esque. Yeah, I guess so. Murcielago is a manga that has been running since 2013 about a former mass murderer that's being made to do certain jobs. Part action, part comedy, very violent and very sexual. Damn. I'm sure that would appeal to a lot of people then. It was 2003 Teen Titans anime. No, I would not personally classify it like that. Although I guess throughout the years, people will say, well, the term anime is too much of an umbrella thing, and we should just call everything that's animated anime, and we shouldn't have any distinction anymore between the styles or between the origins. I don't know, man. I don't control language, obviously, but if you're asking me personal opinion, then yeah, I would say that just because something in the West is anime inspired doesn't really necessarily make it anime. But, you know, is mayonnaise an anime? Yeah, there you go. Mayonnaise is an anime. Thanks for the $5, Patrick. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Do you think new Christmas movies are good or bad? Why are they not like the oldies Xmas movies? Yeah. I have not watched many new Christmas movies, to be honest, but I know that Hallmark Channel, most of what Hallmark does is just bust out 15 different Christmas movies every year, possibly more. I don't know. I don't really watch the Hallmark Channel, but they do have an audience for them, for sure. And, you know, there's a lot of bad Christmas movies made, partially just because people are trying to cash in on a demand for newer Christmas movies, because everyone wants to watch a holiday movie around this time of year. And because we've already kind of watched them all, we start looking for new ones. And they're trying to cash in on that crowd. So there's a lot of people who are looking for some sort of get-rich-quick kind of scheme, and they don't put any love into movies like those. So I think if you're discovering a lot of bad, low-quality Christmas movies, that's the reason for it. It's because they're just trying to, you know, cash in on a particular demand, but they don't have any love or inspiration behind making the movie. And that being said, not all new Christmas movies are necessarily bad. Some of them do have like that passion and love behind them. I mean, I guess Klaus is a newer Christmas movie, and I think it's quite good. I think it's quite excellent. In fact, it's probably the newest animated movie from the West in general. I guess it's a Spanish animation studio now that I think about it, but they're Disney veterans who worked on it. But yeah, it's very good, and I wish them luck in making many more movies in the future. But that's an example of a good new Christmas movie, and I've heard about other Christmas movies that have good premises, right? I've never watched them. I don't know if they actually are good, but the bones are there to make it good. So maybe I'll also give some new Christmas movies a chance. There are always like the old ones that you can be like rest assured are always good every time you watch them. Obviously, Home Alone is like a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece movie. It's just perfect in every way. And you know, they're classics like Miracle on 34th. I always mix it up whether it's 34th or 31st Street. But that movie, you know the movie. You know the movie. It's a good movie. Adam hates It's a Wonderful Life. He hates that movie. I mean, I understand his critiques of it, but I don't think it's that bad. I think it has a nice message at the end. What are some other classics? Oh, The Shop Around the Corner! The Shop Around the Corner! I count that as a Christmas movie. I count it. But that's a really good movie. Me and Adam both love that one. And there's this one movie that starts off during Christmas, but it's not, I guess it's not really a Christmas movie. Just because you start at Christmas doesn't mean that's the whole theme of the movie necessarily. But you know, you get my point. There's a bunch of classics that you can just 100% enjoy all the time. There's a bunch of masterpiece Christmas movies out there that you can always enjoy. If you ever feel like rewatching it for the season is the time to watch those kind of movies. But yeah, I haven't seen that many new Christmas movies, but I'd be willing to give them a shot, especially if they had a recommendation for them. And I also like the idea of Christmas-themed anime. Like, the idea of sand, pretty fun. It's pretty fun to have a Christmas-themed anime. I've read Christmas-themed manga and reviewed it here on the channel before. That was a funny one. That was a really funny one. It's terrible. It's god-awful, but it was really funny. And that was a fun video to make. Oh, that was good. But yeah. 'Tis the season, right, guys? I hope they come out with more Christmas-themed anime in the future. Please, please, anime gods, give us more Christmas-themed anime. It would be so much fun. Batman Returns is a Christmas movie? I guess it is. Christmas is a big part of that one. Die Hard's a classic. Everyone likes Die Hard, for sure. It's another funny one for me and Adam to watch. Child's Play 1 is a Christmas movie. Gremlins was the best Christmas movie. You know, I wanted to watch Gremlins before. I never got around to it, though. I was told it was bad. I think I remember mentioning, like, oh, I want to watch Gremlins. And then someone was like, no, you don't. It's awful. But, it sounds like it could be funny. I don't know. It's a funny concept, right? Only recent Christmas films I could think of that are under a decade old are Klaus and A Christmas Story Christmas. A Christmas Story Christmas, that's different than A Christmas Story? Is that like a sequel? Yeah, I don't know. It's saying Gremlins is bad because it's part horror. Why? I don't know. Some people, I mean, I know people who say that horror movies are extremely good, but they did not think that Gremlins was good. Maybe not a good Christmas movie if it's horror. I don't know what they meant. Watch Gremlins in the dark if you do watch it. Oh yes, and then have like sound effects of skittering behind your head. Like Alien Encounter. Just set up a whole surround system of like skittering and hissing. Oh yeah, there's a whole genre of horror movies that they specifically aim for the Christmas period. I guess to be like counter to all of the wholesome movies, they want to be like, oh, rebellious, right? This is for all the goth people who don't celebrate Christmas. I'm not a fan of that genre, though, to be honest. I don't typically see myself as a fan of horror in general. It's very rare that I'll actually be interested in something that's supposed to be scary. And I like psychological horror a lot more than gory horror. Like, I wouldn't like something like the Saw series. That doesn't appeal to me. But on the flip side, The Fly is very good. Even though I know it's an old movie, and I know that there's an 80s version that leans more in the gore side of things. I've never seen the 80s version. I've only seen the original, and I thought that was pretty decent. It was well directed, at the very least. They have a good way of, like, having a lot of tension in each scene. Keeps you focused, right? But there's other examples, of course. Let's see. Fright Night. Am I thinking of the right one? I think I am. I think it's called Fright Night. There's 2 versions of Fright Night. I've watched them both with Adam, and I think they are both good. Both are good. Both are different, but good. You know, they did a reboot, and they did things differently, but it was different in a good way. It's very rare that I'll look at a reboot and be like, oh, they changed things, but it's good. Doesn't matter that they changed things because it's still good. They're both good. I like the original better, probably, but they're both good. But yeah. You should play I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I don't think I should. That doesn't sound like an authentic recommendation. Gremlins 2 is a good insane film. I've never heard something described as an insane film. Well, that's a pretty funny description. I guess there's like fun insane, I guess, right? Things can be fun with how chaotic they are. That's a book, lol. I don't know. But yeah, Christmas season, good stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to a Christmas party. It's more stressful than Thanksgiving, is going to the Christmas party, right? For me, anyway. I'm sure everyone has their own experiences in that regard. Nobody wants to give out gifts, which is always kind of a bummer because I like giving out gifts. It feels like Christmas when you give out gifts, right? But people are being grumpy about it, so I guess that's that. We met up with our friends earlier, and we did do a gift exchange between them. And guess what? It was fun. I like gifts. I like gift giving. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be fun. That is the purpose of Christmas. It's just fun. You don't have to overthink it. I'm not looking for an iPad. One of my friends, one of the few things that we know about them is, as far as like what their tastes are, is that they like Sailor Moon and that they grew up watching Sailor Moon, right? But I'm sure she likes other anime besides that, obviously. It's not that I actually think that is the only anime that she likes, because we watch anime together all the time, right? But it's kind of just one of those go-to things where every time I see Sailor Moon merch, I think of her because it's one of the first things that I knew that she liked as far as her taste. And it's the same thing in the reverse, right? Because the first thing that they knew that I liked when we were first hanging out was One Piece. And so now I have a shitload of One Piece merchandise all over the house because they would get me One Piece stuff, right? So that's kind of me to her now. And funny enough, me and Adam were at a GameStop, of all places to find Christmas gifts. That's always the most fun place because you never know what you're going to find at a GameStop. It's always something random with IP slapped on it. Never know what it's going to be, right? But we found some Sailor Moon merch. It was a teapot in the shape of the cat from Sailor Moon. It was ridiculous. It was out of this world. I saw that and I knew right away. This was the chosen one. This was the chosen gift for her. Because she likes tea. And she likes Sailor Moon. You put those together, you have a fantastic gift. Although it's such a strange and random gift to find. They really will just slap on anime IP to anything, like any object around the house. I'm sure that there is an anime version of it out there somewhere. Oh, man. But yeah, that was funny. It's funny giving that to her. We got some presents in return, of course. Our one friend, I guess he used some sort of iron-on transfer or maybe like ordered custom t-shirts from a place. But he just found these random images online to just stretch onto a t-shirt. Very goofy stuff. I got like this light and bright blue eyes white dragon t-shirt. Then Adam got this one where it's like James Bond handing you a controller. Very goofy stuff. We've got to wear them at like some convention or something, just because they're so ridiculous. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And you know, that's what gift giving is all about. It's not about how much money you spend. It's just about being fun. It's just a fun thing. You're not saving money or being smart. You're just choosing not to participate in fun. But it's fine. It's fine. Some people just stress themselves out when it comes to getting Christmas gifts. So I get it to some extent, but you know, it just feels bad when people don't want to participate at all because it's slightly stressful for them in the moment. You know, it makes me feel bad, but this is what Christmas is. This is what we do. Oh, hot take. I have never watched Home Alone. Well, this year is the year. This is the year you should watch Home Alone. The original one. The original one is just straight up a perfect movie. It's very good. I like Home Alone quite a lot. It's one of those movies that holds up the best, I think, no matter how many times you watch it. Because there are some movies where, like, you watch it as a kid, and as a kid you're like, this is the best thing ever. But then you grow up and you're like, oh god, this is garbage. Oh man, I can't believe that I liked this as a child. You know? There's a lot of things like those. But Home Alone holds up 100%. They put a lot of thought into the movie, and there's a lot of like nice subtle details that you catch when you watch it again. So it's good. It's very good. GameStop is probably my go-to place for certain anime merch. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess stores like GameStop or Hot Topic is like the Hot Topic was my go-to place for anime merch at one point. There's a bunch of new ones that have popped up, though. Obviously, GameStop has gone in that direction. They've got a bunch of like random merchandise, like I mentioned, the Sailor Moon teapot. But yeah, there's other examples. It's hard to remember some of them, but they have random names, and you got Ibisu now. There's a lot more Ibisus showing up at malls, and I'm kind of happy to see that, honestly, because it's good to be able to get some Japanese snacks, especially. But they also do have some unique merchandise there for popular anime. So check out an Ibisu, I guess, if you would like to get some more anime stuff and Japanese snacks. That's the place to go to. I actually got these cookies from Ibisu not too long ago, and they were so fucking good. They're so good. I have no idea what they're called, though, because the wrapping paper is all in Japanese. I have no idea what it says. And then I'm like, well, how do I get more of these? How do I get these in bulk? Because the package is so tiny. It's such a tiny package. There's like 5 cookies in there, but they're the best. They're the best cookies. They're amazing. Hang on, I'll show chat. I just posted about it recently. Look at this. It's such a tiny package, but these cookies are so good. They're so good. I don't know where I can find these in bulk, but I must find them. I must find your origin so that I can have handfuls of these. Like, you know how when you're in the movie theater, you get a big bucket of popcorn, you're just shoveling handfuls into your mouth. I want to do that, but with these cookies, because they're so good. I want to fill up on nothing but cookie. I'm not endorsing you to get fat, guys, but they're good cookies. They are. They're really good. And if you're ever in Ibisu, get those cookies. You'll understand. Once you've tried them, you'll understand my obsession. Oh yeah? Sailor Moon socks. I always see anime socks at GameStop. That's true. It makes sense too, kind of, for Christmas gifts. That is, it's kind of the joke, right? Is that you get socks for Christmas. But I do need socks. It's true. I need socks. Please get me socks. It's only when you're a kid that you don't want socks. Soon as you're an adult, the turned tables have turned. Need those socks, especially if they have anime waifu on them. They don't need anime waifu on them. But maybe it'd be better. Who knows? Depends if you want to step on them. It really depends. I grew up watching Jingle All the Way. Well, that's a fun movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger, they had so many movies with Arnold in it at during that whole time period, right? And some of them are really funny, and some of them are really badass. It really just kind of, Arnold is one of those guys where it's like, which way? Are you badass today, or are you funny guy today? I like the funny ones, though, I do. I like, what is it, Kindergarten Cop? I like that movie also. Very corny. It's a movie of its time, but it's fun. It is. That actually sounds kind of cool. It was kind of cool. It was a kind of cool gift. I think so. Like making cookies? Oh, yeah. Making custom cookies would also be very good. But you can also get these Japanese cookies at Ibisu. So, it's one of those things. A French woman was telling me she thought Home Alone was too violent and Macaulay Culkin looked weird. Oh, man. It is violent. And Macaulay Culkin does look a little weird, but it's still a perfect movie. Yeah, we don't talk about the Home Alone sequels. We don't talk about any of those. No, absolutely not. Sorry, I'm just like catching up with chat right now. So if I haven't read your comment, I do apologize for that. I'm behind. I was too busy talking about cookies and presents and stuff. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Ah, man, there's so many good ones, honestly. I know that's such a cop-out. That's such a cop-out answer. I'm inclined to say that my favorite is The Shop Around the Corner, just because I have such a good experience watching it with Adam. It is a good movie. It's not as Christmassy as other Christmas movies. Home Alone, like I said, it just strikes me as being like the perfect Christmas movie, because I think that they put a lot of thought into it, and it has all the Christmas vibes there while also being a good story that can stand up on its own. I really like the wholesome, feel-good types of Christmas movies. I don't go for the edgy ones. Not that I wouldn't watch them, but you know, as far as favorites, you gotta rank on wholesomeness, you know? And Google image search is your friend. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, new socks are nice, for sure. Bitches love tea and socks because bitches be cold. I endorse this message. As a bitch, I endorse this message. It's very true. Bitches do be cold. You get them some tea, you get them some socks, get them a teapot in the shape of the Sailor Moon cat. You're golden. Fucking golden. Have anyone seen Red One? Red One. That sounds familiar, but no, I haven't seen it. It does sound familiar. I've probably seen like people posting about it somewhere. Home Alone 1 and 2 are worth the time, with 3 being an okay film. 4 is the worst, 5 is so damn forgettable, and 6 is just no. Yeah, I mean, like, props to you for even watching them all. I think I've only seen the first 2. Because, you know, once they swap out the main actor, it's like, do you really want to keep watching? Once you try to switch up who the main family is, it's like, I don't know about this one. Changes. I don't like that. I mean, I know it's petty, but it's also true. It's true. Many of you think the same thing. I mean, the whole reason why you're watching a sequel is because you want to see the original extended. It's not so much because you want to see a completely changed version of what you just watched. Why even make it a sequel at that point, you know? Ever thought about being a voice actress? I don't know if I'm very good at acting per se. I mean, it's very fun when I'm doing the read-throughs to do different voices for the characters, right? But that's me kind of joking around. If I'm trying to be serious, I don't think I'm as good at it. Because it's a lot of stress. It is. It's a lot of stress acting. And I just... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would be good at it. I'm glad that people enjoy me doing the voices, of course. But on a more realistic view of life, yeah, I don't think I would be a very good actress per se. But I can appreciate good voice acting. Wherever I hear it, it always like stands out to me whenever a voice actor is like really trying, you know, really acting their heart out. It matters. It does. I think it shows that they like shine above all the rest who are just, you know, who just see it as like a job. They're just phoning it in. Oh, I'll just say the lines like a robot. You know, I hate that. I do. It's awful. But acting, it does require a certain headspace you have to get into to really do a good job. And I'm just not sure if I could ever consistently be in that headspace to really act it out. I've also got like kind of a rough voice. So much so, I'm sure you've heard people suspect, oh, is Dannphan actually a man? Because, I don't know, I guess I talk in kind of a lower voice than most girls on the internet who go like super high pitch anime girl voice, whatever voice they do, I don't know. It's just like part of, I guess, how I was raised. You think I wouldn't be talking like an anime girl if I had the ability to? I don't have the ability to do that. I was just raised talking like this, and this is just kind of how I'm settled at this point. This is just the voice that I settled into when I finally had a voice. But yeah. Of course I would talk cuter if I could. It's maybe it's better that I don't. Maybe this voice matches my personality more. I don't know. I guess my voice does change naturally depending on like the situation. There was this one time, I think it was actually the first time I ever met a fan in the wild, right? I was just going to this store that I never go to. Me and Adam stopped by a store and we're like, aha, it's so cute. Let's go into the store. That's what Adam talks like. When he's not on camera, that's what he talks like, trust me. But yeah, one of the people working there was a fan, and Adam made fun of me because I was like, ah! My voice shot up 10 octaves. All of a sudden, I was like speaking much higher pitch than previously, right? So I guess like your voice just naturally changes depending on the situation you're in, depending on the emotion, I guess, right? And then some people will just artificially change it to be like a standard way, but I don't know. I don't have a good answer, I guess. Some of the voices you did on the Avengers Academy video had me howling. Well, I'm glad. Sometimes that I don't make the voices in Avengers Academy different enough. But I also, if you're doing a voice for a main character in a comic read-through, you don't want the voice to be too annoying, because then people won't want to listen to it in the background. So you gotta find this balance, right? It's difficult to find that balance. How come you don't like Funko Pops? Where'd that come from? Well, I don't like the design of Funko Pops. I don't like how they look. If I like the nice figurines, like this Anya from Spy X Family, like this is nice looking. This is cute. It's articulated, and it captures the art style that I like from the manga that I like. That's what I want when I pick out a figurine. I want it to match the art style that I fell in love with. Funko Pops don't do that. They change it to be a completely different style. And there's no reason for me to get it if I don't like the style. If I don't like the black pit eyes and the square head, then why get it, right? I like this art style. I want my figurine to match that art style, not the black pit eyes and square head. That is my personal preference on the matter. But I also hear that Funko Pops, a lot of their sales come from people who believe that they have collectability. And maybe certain ones do have some collectability factor. I'm not really sure. I don't know how the market looks for that. But, I hear that most Funko Pops they don't actually sell very well. There's always a news story where it's like, oh, all 500,000 Funko Pops have been dumped in a garbage landfill, and it's like, oh, geez, so they really not selling that great, huh? But yeah, in general, I don't really like it. I prefer it to be nice, articulated, and to match the original intended art style. Not everything works in the Funko Pop design. That's true. Yeah, not everything is really cut out to be designed like a Funko Pop, for sure. Funko Pop's design is boring. Granted, I do have a giant songbird Funko, but since its eyes are already round, it looks like a chibi version. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, if you have an anime that is supposed to be in that chibi style, then I imagine a Funko Pop is kind of better for stuff like that, because at least it kind of looks similar. But yeah. I'm a big, well, I guess this is more and more true as I'm learning how to do art myself, but I've become a big fan of art and artistes, right? And so when I think about stuff that I would like to collect or have decorated around, I still have to redecorate this whole section. I keep on saying I'm going to do it and I never do. But when I think about stuff that I would like to collect and use to decorate the room with, I'm thinking about stuff that like appeals to me artistically. That's the stuff that I really want. I want stuff to like represent what appeals to me, you know? But everybody's got their own preference, and that's just my preference. I'll stick to my pricey anime figures, or whatever cheap option there is that still captures the original designs as best as possible. That's right. And you know, the figures that I do have, they were very cheap. They were pretty cheap. They weren't like $200 or anything. Like this Anya and her dog, that was like, what, $25? That's not that much. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much. Maybe that's like expensive for a children's toy, but it's for decoration, and I like it. And this over here, this is Mahiru, my girl. I pre-ordered, so she was probably a little bit more expensive than she is now, but I do like this series. I believe that they're coming out with a season 2. I'm so excited. I already read ahead in the light novels. It's the only light novel that I actually started reading is this one. It's a little bit dusty. Please excuse me. I need to reorganize this whole section, as I said before. But yeah, my girl Mahiru, she was a little bit more expensive because I pre-ordered her and everything. I think she was maybe $30 to $40, a little bit closer to that range, but still like fairly cheap considering that other high detailed figurines, they go to up to like $100 or $500 if you get like the extra articulated statue ones, right? And this is God, what do they call them again? There's a what are they called again? I wish there was a logo somewhere on this so that I could remember. It's something like Pop-Up Shop or something. It's a company that typically does these kinds of cheap anime figurines, and they've done a bunch of them. And they're all like pretty good, pretty high quality, and pretty cheap. So they're good for people who are looking to decorate, but not, you know, not blow their bank account. But yeah, it's difficult for me to remember what they are. They're not Funko Pops, obviously. It's Pop-Up Parade. Yes, that's it. you're absolutely right, Gabe. Pop-Up Parade by Good Smile. That's it. That's exactly what she is. Sorry, I just got your message now. Otherwise, I would have corrected myself earlier. But yes, and I don't know if their prices have increased over time. They probably have. Let's see. Let's see what they're going for now. Because at one point they were like $30 or $40, and that's definitely worth the type of quality that you're getting from them. Okay, so it looks like they're kind of up to mid $40, and then like more expensive for certain ones. Or actually, I think they're more expensive for like bigger ones. I think they're supposed to be bigger. But yeah, they're pretty good quality stuff. I'll share screen for you guys. See, they're all around like that $40 range. This one looks huge, obviously. I would not want that here, though. Because that's, yeah, you know, that was not my favorite scene in Delicious in Dungeon, is where she turns into the weird half dragon, half chicken thing. Yeah, they got some good stuff. This one is adorable. The Marcel, yeah, this is adorable. I love her character design in general from Delicious in Dungeon. She has a good, solid character design. I'm fucking jealous. I gotta get better at designing my own characters, because that is just a good, adorable character design right there. That's only $30. That's a steal. Absolute steal. This Titan looks ridiculous, though. I think some of the more edgy type of figures that they try to do are not as good, but the cute ones are very good. Oh, except for this one. This one's fantastic. The Berserk one. Yeah, everyone tries to copy this. You'll see this figure all the time at like those stores where they sell the bootleg merch. You see this figure. But the original is fantastic looking. You can see why people would want it, for sure. But obviously that one is an extra large, and it's like over $200. So would not personally get that one. But yeah, I don't know. If you guys are looking for gifts, you know, or if you're looking to decorate with some waifu merch, I would probably recommend these guys for getting your figurines. Because I think they do have pretty reasonable prices, whereas other companies maybe don't. And pretty good quality overall. But yeah. Could find better deals in some small anime-focused store, based on my experience. Maybe. Depends. I think a lot of anime stores that I've gone into usually have much higher priced stuff. And I think that's just because of the like rent that you pay to have a store open. Is you just need things, merchandise in general, to be much higher priced to make up for the bills that you have to pay every month. But you know, I guess it'll depend. It'll depend based on the location, of course. You go to a nice location, and maybe you could find cheaper prices in the store. Amazon is full of phony ones, I'm sure. Like I said, that one Berserk one, the one Berserk one that I just pulled up, there's a bunch of bootleg versions of those. Be wary, guys. Don't get a bootleg version of that Berserk one. It's too good to buy a bootleg version. But yeah, I would highly recommend a Good Smile company for people looking for cheap figurines that are good quality. I'd like to, in the future, get my own figurines made that are like of similar quality to what they put out. I just kind of don't know how to go about doing it. I have like a company bookmarked, right? But in order to really get a good deal with them. You need to be able to sell a lot of these. And I'm not convinced that I'm at the popularity to really sell that many figurines. But maybe in the future, that would be a really cool thing to invest in. I think, anyways. I think that would be really sick, right? And obviously, we've done like these Reaper and Siddharth. These are kind of like at-home made type of figurine things. And maybe that makes them more special, is knowing that they're kind of made at home. But, you know, they're not as high of quality as Mahiru over here. So I'd love to step up my game in the future. Anyways, that's an hour. That's an hour stream. It was really fun talking to you guys, for sure. We covered a lot of different stuff. I've given you many Christmas gift ideas between Sailor Moon teapots and Good Smile figures. Now you know exactly what to buy your friends. Buy them one of two things, or buy them those cookies from Ibisu. Very good, very delicious. I cannot recommend those cookies enough. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. I really do. And, spend time with the family and your loved ones. And embrace the wholesomeness of Christmas. Really, really spread the love around, guys. Not to sound hippie, but... have fun and enjoy this Christmas season. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. And I'll see you next year, I guess. Oh, it's going to be a good year next year. Until then, I'll say goodbye to you. And I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye. Have fun.